This is Bas Rutten, and he doesn't belong in the Bushido-verse.
Hello and welcome to Bas Rutten's lethal street fighting self-defense system. Let me tell you first that I've been around. I've been a bouncer for many, many years, and I've been fighting in the ring, as you know. So I know my things.
Unlike Sensei Snow White, Bas Rutten is one of those people who has legitimate fight training, participated in actual combat and brawls, and looks like the kind of bloke you definitely don't want to mess with.
Look, sir, I really don't want anything of this, and I go whoop, like this, and I slit your throat.
While Sensei Shingles lives his life one samurai sword at a time, Bas doesn't play like that. You see, as any MMA aficionados out there would know, Mr. Ruten is really good at kicking the living snot out of people.
You can stab it right in front of somebody's face. You can now punch, and you can hit, and you can stab it like this.
I mean, extremely good. Not as good as Big Daddy is at speaking English, but he's good.
When I raise your hand, you go up. When I raise you down, you go down. When I raise you down, you go down.
Learning and studying acupuncture, herbology, massage, every meridian in your body is an organ. Everything is corrected. Everything is connected to your nervous system.
Everything is corrected. Everything is connected.
2 decades ago, Bas decided that pressure point attacks, plus chi attacks, could be improved upon with actual useful techniques in real-world situations. And if that wasn't enough, Big Bas adds some quality sound effects and dialogue that makes him a supreme legend in my book.
And suddenly, boom, a headbutt. Bang, follow up with a headbutt. Boom, knee to the head. And look what we got here. Smack his face. Dang. I'm probably gonna bounce his head on the table 10 times or something. Don't you ever do this. Bang, bang, bang.
His wazas a little closer to mine.
I'm a white boy.
A brief history about Bas Rutten. I'll keep it short and sweet. He is a Dutch fighter that is a legit lethal weapon. The type of fella you do not want to accidentally piss off on a night out trying to act tough in front of your mates.
I heard was checking you out in a bar and wanted to have you step outside. Was Brian Urlacher of the Chicago
my God,
Bears?
you put me on the spot here.
Yeah, what happened, buddy?
We went to a charity event in Florida. I'm walking around and I step on his toes, kid you not, pushing me. I said, listen, man, I'm really sorry. I didn't know the guy. I mean, this big guy. I look at him and he's drinking a bud or whatever. I said, listen, you want a beer or something? I don't need your beer. I said, listen, normally 3 strikes is out. Please, you gotta stop now, man. So I walk away. I mean, it's a charity event. So he says, you want to take it outside?
Oh, boy.
So my friends and I start laughing, and I say, which was not the reaction he expected, I guess. And I said, yes. And then the bouncers jumped on him, and I think they explained to him who I was, and he came to me and he apologized. And everything was good.
Regardless of how tough you think you are, you're not. Bas would eat you alive, especially in a street fight.
For some reason, didn't get a lot of the love that he so deserves.
He was a pioneer.
Savage.
Yeah, and one of the most, one of the original technical strikers.
Right, taking on dudes way bigger than him and still handling them.
Yeah.
Like, Hoist Gracie is amazing and savage, but he was doing the exact same thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was just years later. But if Hoist had to fight Bas Rutten, it would have been ugly. People that have been able to, pave the way, like a guy like Bas Rutten.
Yeah.
They were
He's such a good
massively
dude,
important.
too. He's so nice.
He's such a savage. He would just shoot cortisone into everything. All of his joints are all fucked up because
Yeah.
he would just take cortisone shots, just shoot it into everything.
Oh.
Lidocaine, he'd shoot lidocaine into his shins.
Oh, my God.
So he could fucking blast people and not feel anything.
Not feel it.
He's such an animal.
Christ.
He was such an animal. He had amazing stories, though.
Even big-ass dogs need to fear Bas.
True or false, you once knocked out a Rottweiler?
Yes, that's true. He lived with us in the house. I lived there with my wife and with the mother as well. And the mother got a new boyfriend, was a sergeant from the army, and he brought a big Rottweiler in home. And on the way over to the dog park, the sergeant is constantly pulling the dog. He has to sit down and look to the left and right. I said, dude, it's a dog. Let the dog be a dog, As soon as we unbuckled him, whop, he grabs the fox terrier in the neck and he's going. Wow. And I'm shouting to him, I should do something. He's panicking. He goes, no, I don't know what to do. So I walk to the side and I kick him on the side of his face, and the dog rolls out. Right away, he comes to me, man, hair, boop, goes up, and he goes, rah, and I low kick him, full in the head. And he's gone. And this guy's freaking out now. He thinks I killed his dog. You killed my dog! And I'm looking and I said, no, he's breathing. The dog wakes up like a long time after. He wakes up. He's all this. He's just like a regular person. And he's looking so, and he sees me and he goes, and I step forward and go, what? And he goes, I'm talking about, I'm not lying, at least 135-pound Rottweiler. It was huge. His head was this big.
Now, dogs don't have to fear him as much as Sensei Dog Slaughterer, of course, but
Steven Seagal, the actor turned cop with the reality show, was along for the ride.
Animal cruelty is one of my pet peeves.
that is all the history we need about Bas, so it's time to thank today's sponsor, all the awesome Seagalians that support this channel. Thank you sincerely for your kind words and support, my friends. You're a bunch of legends who make this all worthwhile.
Couldn't do what I do without you.
If you haven't joined Seagalism yet, it costs nothing and you're basically missing out on being part of an exclusive club. Like Bohemian Grove, minus the effigy burning and creepy people in gowns. So think about liking and subscribing. I would like to give a special shout out to the Patreon members who are diehard Seagalians. Your support is appreciated more than you know. I understand not everyone can or wants to join, so thank you kindly for finding enough value to do so.
We ride together. We die together. And
today's other sponsor is me and this awesome Seagal merch. I'll be giving the entire line an overhaul soon, so grab these bad boys while they are still available because, much like any sensibility in society, you won't be able to find it anywhere anymore. What makes this video the greatest instructional self-defense video ever is Bas himself. Well, yeah, the moves are really handy and something that absolutely everybody can learn something from, but it's all about Big Bas.
And boom, I'm standing here, and as always, El Guapo is minding his own business. Boom, the right elbow, bring right straight. Maybe now the headbutt comes, knee to the face, and again, I can throw him against this wall and maybe step back and kick him against the head. Wrong move. Don't do that to El Guapo.
Unlike many of his counterparts, Bas is extremely adept at utilizing his surroundings, or as he loves to say, ambiance.
Smack his face into the ambience of the place.
Firstly, let's all appreciate the funky early 2000 music before we cut to Bas instantly hitting us with some truth.
You cannot see the glass coming, or the hit, or the baseball bat, or what about a shin kick in the head? Is he drinking a nice little soda? Hey, that's a weapon too, because he can crush it and stab it in your face.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, this is some real shit. I cannot recommend this video highly enough to anybody who wishes to learn some actual, real-life scenario self-defense skills. Or instead, you can learn from this bloke. In Big B's world, everything is a weapon. Some real Jason Bourne kind of shit. We're 4 minutes in, and if you don't already get the vibe that Bas would pound the living snot out of most people on this planet, I'm surprised you made it this far in life. Well, he couldn't beat everyone, obviously.
A colleague of mine is having some issues with his girlfriend. Twice he came up with a fight between Steven Seagal and Bas Rutten.
Yeah, without a doubt, that's the short answer. Bas Rutten all the way. I'm sorry, girlfriend, you're wrong. I will slap him, pop, 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 pop in the face, grab his ponytail, maybe a headbutt here and there, and then fold him up. No doubt.
Crockery and seasoning are vital components of repelling your opponents, so pay close attention.
Of course, the pepper and salt underneath the table, and you put the pepper in your hand, you can throw it at him, and then you can attack. The salt thing, nothing really is going to happen, but it's a nice little thing to hold in your hand and punch the guy with. Of course, a nice little plate. What can a plate do? I can throw it to you again, but I can also break it, and now it's a stabbing device. Oh, look at this. Now, this is a very dangerous weapon right here. This is where they put the receipts on.
Can you all feel the genuine joy and excitement in his voice when he finds the paper stabbing thing? It would be somewhat adorable if it weren't equally terrifying. The scary thing is that you know he has tried all of these moves himself at some point, so they definitely work.
All the techniques that I'm going to show you today, they actually work. I use them, so you can use them too.
When you live a rough and brutal lifestyle, you got to be able to protect yourself. Hey, Big Daddy.
In America, it's different. Yeah. They don't care. Where I came from, if you did that, somebody will come and kill you the next day. Yeah. They'll come to your dojo or your house and say, it's on right now. Yeah. One of us is going to live and one of us is going to die. Yeah. Or one of us is going to be unconscious and maybe he'll live and maybe he won't. I don't care.
Yeah.
Right. Justice and mercy hold no place in Mr. Rutten's world, so be careful not to piss him off in any way. You'll see what I mean later.
I don't believe in an eye for an eye. I believe in 2 eyes for an eye. But that's just me.
If I'm being honest, all of this practical, useful and genuinely helpful combat advice is not what people want. Why bother with this when you can just no-touch someone to death? Or kill them with a bunch of secret techniques or some other bullshit?
And just as much time as those guys spend trying to dive for your legs and get you, we spend just as much time cutting your head off or knocking you out or ripping your eyes out or ripping your throat out or severing your brainstem when you go down there, because your head and your neck will be vulnerable. I don't care who you are, if you know what we know. Yeah. And then I'll show you some of that stuff. So,
if a bloke comes at you with a knife, sure, you can pretend to be a fat samurai in make-believe demonstrations. Or you can come back to reality and respond accordingly if somebody has a knife.
A knife confrontation, I do not want to go, okay? So again, I got back up and I got to use something and grab this. And again, I can stab because now my reach is longer than his reach.
Remember, these are real-life street fight scenarios, so the consequences could be life or death. So why not detach a guy's arm from his body?
I'm grabbing the inside of his hand like this. And believe it or not, this is a very strong move. 1, 2, support his elbow. And now I'm going to turn around again so you guys can see what I can do. I can, of course, kick him in the head. But if I really want to be, I can put my knee on and break the arm.
If that seems overly brutal and unnecessary, perhaps just limit it to stomping on somebody's face.
And now, I know that there are no friends from him around, so I can do a little bit more damage. Right away, the liver is connected here. With your knee on the liver. Of course, you can do the same on the head. You can step over, start hitting him, and of course, can hold the head and just crush with the foot to the face.
Now, if you happen to find yourself attacked by a black bear or grizzly Seagal, be sure to use this move. Sure to dispose of a 600-pound animal or a bear.
Okay, he's bear hugging me, and he's a big guy. He's got me tight. I go this. Breathe in, and now I drop. Boom, elbow, and I will probably go for a single leg takedown, and right away, get up.
It's not only strangers that Bas treats in such a manner. Let's have a listen and see what happened between him and a mate over some drinks.
He was drunk, I was drunk, and it was all in good play, and he grabbed me from the back, and he started biting in my back. And he was biting through my skin. When I came home, the teeth were through my skin. He grabbed me, and there I told him to let me go, and he didn't let me go. I asked him again, I said, don't bite, don't do it. I started pushing his wrist, breaking it, grabbing my own wrist, and now I stepped out. And luckily for me, over here, there was a window. So I thought, let's throw him through the window. I went whang, and he went through the window, out to the hospital to get some stitches. But like I said, when he came back, we were all friends again.
As with everything, there is a varying scale of destruction that can be inflicted. Ultimately, Big Bas has a heart of gold, and protective of things that are precious to him.
He hit your wife, or your girlfriend, or maybe he hit your kid, or he loves his dog. Maybe he kicked his dog. So now we are very angry, and we don't like it just to take him down. No, we want to pay him back because he was hitting something that's very vulnerable to us, very valuable. Okay, so this is what I would do. I wouldn't hit him in the groin because then maybe he's gonna let you go. It's a possibility you can kick him in the head, but why not give him a little damage that he's gonna regret for about 5 or 6 months. Watch. You lift him up, you're gonna slam him down, bang, and here he is. Grab the knee, grab this, step over, fall backwards, whoop, and now we got an inverted heel hook. And you see I twist his under leg, here I twist it the other way around. It's like a kind of exorcist move. I did this to an opponent in Japan, Takahashi, and I actually broke his shin bone with this move. Normally, his knee will blow out.
I'm not sure if I've already mentioned this, but Bas is someone you don't want to f*** with. Or his wife, or his dog, or his kid. He also believes in tipping and throwing in a little bit extra.
And all because he was hitting my wife. And that one just came extra.
If somebody calls your wife a tubby bush pig, never fear. Bas will show you how to inflict unnecessarily excessive pain and possibly cripple someone for life.
Was that huge thing you brought in with you, man?
You see how confident this person is? But he sits in a total wrong position. Somebody's telling me that about my wife. I'm sorry, sir, but I'm gonna break your leg. I'm gonna say, listen, fella, this is the thing. See what I'm doing? I'm leaning on his knee, and he is still very confident because he's got his two buddies right here. They're gonna jump in at the moment I do something. I grab his toes, and then I'm gonna go like that. And I promise you that this knee will be shattered.
Now we're going to look at 2 ways to deal with multiple attackers. First, we're going to look at Sensei Nipple Cripple dealing with multiple attackers with absolute ease. Now, we're going to let Bas show you what we should actually do if this happens in real life.
We have 2 attacks. It could be 3, but we have one here, and we have one there at the back of the bar. You want to have them in front of you. Right away, I cannot go for the escape there anymore because he's here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn, I'm going to put my back against the wall, or better yet, a corner. So I'm going to run back while they're coming to me. I'm going to go here, 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 and now I face them both. Now, at least I can start fighting 2 guys in one place. Otherwise, I will have one guy here and one guy here, and that is not going to work.
I don't know about you, but I prefer the Sensei's easy diving way. Not only do we learn how to fight, but we also learn some simple dispute resolution. Like when someone is upset you took their chair, just deal with it in a calm manner.
I'm sitting in my seat, man.
Okay, this position is not a good position for me. Right away you say, okay, I'm sorry. Bang, bang, bang. No, I'm not. Okay, so if they do that, you got to pay them back.
Bas now has the gumption to make fun of wrist locks, basically implying everything Sensei Pickle Dick harps on about is absolute useless, pointless, improbable, and just plain fat.
I just want to show you this technique. Whether you're going to use it or not, maybe nobody's going to grab you by the wrist like that. But hey, if they do, at least you're going to have a defense.
Even Mike Tyson thinks it's useless faffing that wouldn't even be practical in the real world.
All right, but what is the purpose? If nobody's going to mug you, nobody's going to go like this. Oh, yeah?
So there's a taste of Bas's self-defense video, and I do, again, highly recommend that everyone go out and watch it, especially for the ladies out there. A few basic moves just to keep you nice and safe. The ultimate takeaway, first and foremost, is that Ruten is not someone you want to get upset or get in a pickle with. That should be evident. His instructional video is a good way to learn some simple, situation-specific moves that could potentially save your life. Not everyone out there sharing information is disingenuous and simply there to make money off other people. Bas is one of the most legit martial artists you'll find and respected by martial artists everywhere. Not quite as respected as Sensei Pudgy Gut, but Bas is pretty well liked.
Steven's, he's an entertainer, and I look at some of the stuff and I can understand he's selling a product. I can't call him a deep martial artist. There are too many martial artists that I really honor and respect, and who live that life of Budo. that you know, I couldn't put him in that same category.
So I went with a change of pace today, my friends, but the next few videos we will be back on track with Big Daddy, including a movie review. I've been getting quite a lot of requests for a movie recap, but if there's anything you want me to cover, please let me know in the comments. A book review is also in the works at some point, and also a video about the destruction of all these bullshito artists. In the meantime, have a great weekend, snatch a birthday or two, perhaps run over a dog during a raid, but above all, stay awesome. Peace, legends.
Shining bright in the sky, and I'm free when I close my eyes. I can't remember, help me wash away my sorrow.